What's up, fellas? Happy Sunday to y'all. We are back again this weekend. Hopefully you guys are having a great weekend. I know it's been hot everywhere, especially here. So today we're checking out a sub. It's been around a long time. You don't really hear again a lot about Memphis, but they're a good brand. So we're checking out this Mojo Pro 12-inch dual 2-ohm version, and I'll put a link to the subwoofer and the amplifier that we're going to use in this video in the video description. So check it out. So this is the MJP1222 dual 2-ohm version. So this is a 2.5-inch voice coil sub, 750 RMS rated, and it's pretty nice looking sub. You can see it has all the terminals on one side. Some other subs have it like that, like the American Bass XR, I believe. So pretty decent looking sub. It is about $260. So it's kind of stretching that point of, is it a budget sub or is it not budget? But it definitely looks nice. There's some nice attention to detail. So again, it does have a 2.5-inch coil. They say it's a 120-ounce magnet. We'll go ahead and do TS parameters on it too, but so far it looks decent. You know, these have been around for a while. A lot of guys love them for daily driver subs. They're nothing too crazy again. You can see there's lots of voice coil venting, and it does have the woven leads, the round leads into the spider, and it has a nice magnet bumper, some nice machining on the basket so you can see the aluminum pop through versus the black with the Memphis logo. So it's a pretty nice looking little sub. We're going to see how it sounds and if it's worth the $260. Again, Memphis, they make good stuff. Some of their stuff is pretty pricey. Some of it's, you know, more fair. They're kind of like middle of the road, so there's nothing wrong with that. So here's the back side of it. Again, pretty nice looking sub. So you can see here, this is the dual 2-ohm version, 750 RMS, 1500 peak. They also have this in a gold version that's like the 60th anniversary version, I believe. That's a little more. If you guys like the content, man, please like and subscribe. It'd really help me out, and I'd appreciate it. But you guys will have to let me know what you think. I know this is a super popular sub. It's been around for a long time. A lot of daily bangers run it. So we're going to see. I'm going to tell you guys how it sounds. We're going to see how it holds power. We're going to be running on one of my new HiFi Vector amplifiers today. So, but let's go ahead and DATS this thing and pull the real world TS parameters out of it here. And here's what we got. So not too bad. It's basically kind of normal for this type of mid-range sub. All right, guys, so we got it hooked up in the Armada here. Nice looking sub. I do like the dust cap and the stitching, and it does look pretty nice in my custom box. Now this is tuned to 34 Hertz, and we're running it on my all-new HiFi Vector Audio V-1100.1 monoblock amplifier. I'll put a link to the sub and the amp in the description. We're going to be keeping an eye out on power with the SMD meter here. So this should be a very good match. It probably is going to be a little bit too much power for this sub, but it's always better to have a little bit more than not enough. And we're just running it on my 6-cell LTO bank, 400 amp alternator. I'll have to show you guys under my hood later. A lot of guys ask what I have. But nice looking sub, so let's go ahead and get it cranked up. We're going to put it through some paces and see what it does. Also do some test tones and an SPL run and see what we get out of it. So this, again, should be a pretty good matchup. I'm excited to see how this thing does. So let's get going. All right, here we go. Let's crank this baby up. So the amp is a little bit much, but it's better to have too much than not enough. I'm keeping it at around 800, watts or so. Otherwise, the sub starts to get a little bit stinky if I go over about 800, which we're seeing on the SMD. But it's 750 rated, so that's just fine. No problems with it, and it sounds pretty good. But let's go ahead now and do some sweeps, and then we'll go ahead and do an SPL run. But so far, pretty good setup. So one thing I did notice is this sub really tends to unload at 25 hertz and under. And this is only a 2 cubic foot box. It does quiet down quite a bit under 30 hertz, even though it's unloading like that. All right, let's do some SPL runs. Not too loud at 20 hertz there. Let's try 25. A little bit better. This thing under 30 hertz gets a little quiet. $137.25. All right, and the specs say 2.5 cubic foot net with a 5-inch round port. I think that's a little bit too much. I ran it in a 2 cube box with 4-inch arrow, and it did really good. It pretty much took that 1100 HiFi vector amp pretty good. Now, if you ran it in a 2.5, you'd definitely lose power handling. So if you're going to run it in a bigger box, it's going to take less power. So just keep that in mind. But I think 2 cubes is perfect for this. And if you guys want to check the amps out, check out HiFiVector.com. I have custom car audio amp fans, bass knobs, and all kinds of other accessories. And I just added my own amplifiers, so check it out.
Oh my God!
All right, guys. So what's the verdict on this Mojo? You tell me. What's the Mojo? The down low. It's a good sounding budget sub. So is it worth $260? And that just depends. It's up to you. It looks nice. It didn't burn up. It took rated power. It sounded pretty good. Wasn't a low-end monster as expected, but it's a decent sounding budget subwoofer. It was punchy. It sounded pretty musical. Just a good daily driver sub. So you guys will have to chime in. What do you think? $260? I don't think that's too bad. Is it the cheapest? No, but it's not like a total ripoff either. It's just kind of a normal price to me. But it did pretty good for a little budget banger. Again, it didn't smash the lows. But it had nice punchy bass, sounded pretty musical. Definitely did really good with that amplifier in a 2 cubic foot box. So let me know what you guys think. But again, happy Sunday, fellas. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. I really do. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace.